Hi everyone, it's Danilsa, senior artist for 86 in Lexington, New York, and this is my sultry look. I love doing this look because it brings out my eyes. I have very small eyes, so I like to bring them out and emphasize them. So with this routine, I have oily to combination skin and it gets super shiny, like reflective shiny. So my routine is gonna be a little bit different where I use a lot of powder products. So I hope you guys continue watching and let's get started. So first I'm going to use the OLEHENRIKSEN Balancing Force Oil Control Toner. So I'm just putting it on a cotton round and I'm just swiping it all over my face like so. Getting the forehead, especially where I get shiny, in the center. It has salicylic acid, glycolic, and lactic acid, so it's going to give me a slight exfoliation for smooth makeup application. And then I'm going to use the OLEHENRIKSEN Counterbalance Oil Control Hydrator. So I'm putting a few pumps on my hand, like so, and I'm just rubbing it all over, pressing it in as well, especially around the center of my face and forehead. I use this as a primer and moisturizer to help reduce oil and also minimizes pores and control shines throughout the day. I love this moisturizer because it's super lightweight and also makes your makeup last long as well. Next, I'm going to use the Lancôme Energie de Vie, the Illuminating Anti-Fatigue Cooling Eye Gel. So you want to squeeze it out a little bit. It's full of antioxidants and caffeine, so it's going to help depuff my bags under the eyes. So you massage it in like so, and then the rest, I like to pat it in with my finger. I go all around, all over my orbital bone, a little bit on top of the brow, and whatever's left on my finger, I like to use it around my lips. And then I'm going to use the Too Faced Eyeshadow Insurance Primer. I have really oily lids, and this is a really good primer to make my eyeshadow last longer. It's going to keep it from creasing, fading, and it's also going to enhance the color of your eyeshadow. So I just put it on my ring finger because it's the lightest pressure. You want to be gentle when you're using anything creamy around your eye area. So I'm just patting it on from my lid to brow bone. And whatever's left, I like to put it under my eye as well, just so it could hold the eyeshadow on the bottom of my eyes. Okay, so next I'm going to start with my favorite concealer, the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Biscuit. And I like to put it in the darkest spots of my eyes. I don't like to use it all over under my eyes because I don't want it to look cakey throughout the day. And I'm brushing that with a number 57 brush. It's a concealer pro brush. It's one of my favorites because it buffs it out really nicely. A tip to blending concealer, you want to use very light pressure, more like airbrush motions. That way you don't get any brush strokes. What I love about this one, it's my shade, but it has a little bit of an orangey, peachy undertone, so it's going to color correct at the same time. And I like to use it also on my lids just to color correct any discoloration. And I also use it anywhere I need extra coverage on my face, like around my nose area, get a little red around there. And the outer corners of my lips. That's going to give me a nice lift as well. And blending it with the number 57 brush. I'm buffing it out. Circular motions. So next I'm going to use Sephora Powder Foundation. It's the Matte Perfecting Powder Foundation from Sephora Collection in number 44 Neutral Almond. So I'm using a number 94 brush. It's a new Sephora brush. It's a Pro Core Diffuser. I love this one for powder because it really melts the powder into my skin. The brush really buffs it in really nice. Almost turns it into a liquid. So the trick to using the brush is, if you notice, I'm not jamming the brush into my face. I'm using the bristles gently, more like in a circular, fast buffing motion. That way it doesn't look powdery and it blends in really nice and gives it an airbrush finish to my skin. I'm also bringing it down to my neck because you do want your face to match the rest of your body. So now I'm going to use the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Refillable Palette. I mix Lucid and Lyric together. And I'm using a number 79 Pro Contour brush. And I like to use this to also set my concealer and give me a nice, bright center on the face, because I like that part of the face to stand out more. And also it's going to bring out the natural contours of my face when I go to contour later on. Not right under my eye, just a little below, because I don't want to put too much powder under my eye, because that could bring out any fine lines or wrinkles that you might not have. So I'm just blending it, building it to the intensity that I want. This is really going to bring dimension to my face. So I want to emphasize the high point of my face. So I like to put a little bit under my brow bone just to give it a lift. And also down the bridge of my nose to give it a more shape. So when you take those selfies, you have dimension and you look good from every angle. A little bit under my chin just to brighten the center of my face. And in the middle of my forehead, just to give you a glow from within. So now I'm going to use Sombre and Shadow Play. So I mixed those two together, still using the number 79 brush. And for this step, I'm using the tip of the brush to contour my face. And I'm focusing in the back part of my cheekbones because I don't want to bring it all the way to my outer corner of my lips because I don't want a 5 o'clock shadow. So you just want to keep it in the back and then just blend out. That's going to give you more of a cleaner contour look. I'm going to go under my jawline just to give my face more of a slimming look and give my jawline more definition. So I'm starting in the back of my ear and bringing it down my neck. But you always want to start in the back because you want a connecting point. You don't want to start in the middle and have your chin look dirty. So always start from the back. That's the starting point, and then bring it forward. And I'm going right under my jawline, not on top of it. So again, I'm mixing Somber and Shadow Play from the Kat Von D Refillable palette. And then I'm using Shadow Play only for this part. And I'm using the tip of the brush very lightly. I'm not pressing too hard, just to give my nose a little bit more definition and not look flat. Gives my face dimension. And I'm also taking it on my eye socket just to give my eyes definition as well. So one of my favorite bronzers is the NARS one of my many favorite bronzers. I'm using the NARS in Casino. It's a matte shade. And I'm using the number 59 brush to apply this. So when I do bronzer, I do it in a shape of a 3. So I start on my forehead, on my cheekbones, and under my jawline, and I bring it down to my neck. And this also is going to help you further blend your contour. So if you have any harsh lines from your contour, this is going to really help it smooth it out, almost like correct it. So I'm going on my forehead, again on my cheekbones. And you always want to bring bronzer down your neck. And also a good tip, if you're going to have your hair up, also put bronzer in the back of your neck. That way you don't have your face in the front is tan and then the back of your neck is white. So always bring it down the back of your neck if you're going to have your hair up. Next, I'm going to use Sephora Collection Perfection Mist Airbrush Blush in shade Rust or Bust. And before you put it on, don't forget to shake it up. So the way you spray this, you want to tilt it up, like angling down to your cheekbones. That way you get a precise placement when you do spray it. If you find this technique a little bit scary, you could spray it on a brush and then buff it in if you prefer. But I feel like it gives it a better finish when you just spray it on. So you want to do little pulses, like going back and forth, and it has a cooling effect. So next I'm going to use Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in soft brown. So first I like to comb them up. I have very thin eyebrows, so I like to make my brows look a little bit thicker, but yet keep them more natural. So first I start at the bottom, I outline them, and then I brush it up again, and then I'm filling in any little gaps that I see, and I like to go back and forth. So this is going to give my hairs more thickness because of the wax on the pencil, and I'm shaping the outer corner, and I'm brushing them up. And this is also, brushing them up is going to help distribute the product and give it more of a softer, natural look. So next I'm going to use Benefit Cosmetics 24-Hour Brow Setter Shaping and Setting Gel to set my eyebrows and bring back that natural hair texture. So I like my brows to look fluffy. So if you notice, I'm just brushing it up and I'm just leaving it as is. So next I'm going to use the Tartelette in Bloom Clay Eyeshadow Palette. It's one of my favorites because I love warm browns, especially during the summertime. So I'm using the number 38 brush from Sephora. I'm going to go in with the shade Smarty Pants. So I'm using this color to give my crease definition. And I'm using the tip of the brush. So if you notice, I'm not doing it where my natural eye creases because I like to make my eyes look bigger. I'm going by my bone structure, not by where their natural creases, because this is going to give you more space to wear more eyeshadow looks and make your eyes look bigger. So I'm going back and forth in circular motions, very light, airy strokes. And still using the number 38 brush, I'm going to use Rebel. And I'm focusing that shade mostly in my outer corner. And then I'm bringing it up, mixing it with Smarty Pants. So this is going to give the eyeshadow more definition, but I'm still focusing I'm starting in the outer corner and then I'm blending it in. And I'm bringing it out into like almost like a cat eye, just to enhance my almond eyes. So next I'm going to use Leader, which is a darker shade. So I'm going to use the number 15 brush and I'm just going to focus in the outer corner of my eye. So using a smaller brush is going to give you precise placement when you want to layer different shades. That way they don't mix together and look muddy. So I'm placing it and I'm building up that intensity. So if you see, I'm going back and forth, blending it, but I'm using the tip of the brush. And I'm using very short blending strokes, keeping it really tight so that way I can mix the shades together, but yet not make him look muddy, and you get more precise placement. And also working at smaller strokes is going to prevent you from having a lot of fallout. And I'm going back with the number 38 brush, and I'm using it clean. I don't have any product here. I just want to smooth out any harsh lines. So this is going to give you a better blend. Always having like a clean blending brush. It's going to give you a nice clean blending look. You just want to soften it up, blend out any harsh lines that you see without adding any product, a clean blending brush. Oh, that's the number one tip to having like a nice smooth blend. See, I'm going back and forth and I'm reshaping it. So I always like to extend it out, almost like a cat eye effect, like a smoky cat eye. So next I'm going to wear the Sephora Collection Contour Eye Pencil 12-Hour Wear Waterproof. So this is one of my favorite Sephora Collection liners. It's the metallic brown. So it almost has like a bronzy effect. What I love about this, it really enhances my brown eyes. So when I really smudge it, so I packed this on in the bottom. And what I love about this one, I wear contacts. And this one doesn't get on my contacts. Some liners create a film and this one doesn't do that at all. So next I'm going to go in back with Rebel. And I'm using the number 18 brush from Sephora Collection. It's a pro shader. It's one of my favorites. You could get really precise with this. And I'm using the tip of it and I'm going to kind of set that liner and also give it more of a smoky effect on the bottom. You don't have to bring it as far down as I do, but I like that dramatic smoky effect, so I bring it all the way down. Well, not all the way, but you know, a little bit more dramatic than usual. So I'm going back and forth. Again, not too much pressure. I'm using the tip of the brush. This is going to really enhance that smoky eye. So next I'm going to go with the Marc Jacob Beauty Highliner Gel Eye Crayon Liner in Blacker. And I am going back and forth really close to my top lashes. It's okay if it looks a little choppy because I'm going to blend it later on in a few minutes. So I'm just doing little dots, like little dashes in between the lashes. And then I'm going back again with the number 18 brush and I'm using the tip of it. And I'm just smoothing it out, giving it a soft smoky effect. And I am buffing it upwards to further enhance my smoky. And then I'm going to go in with Leader again, using the number 18 brush. And I'm just smoking it out, making it a softer look, a softer line, not too harsh. And also for that continuous smoky eye look. So next, my favorite mascara ever, Marc Jacobs Beauty Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara. So here's a good tip when applying mascara. So you always want to start at the base. That's where you want to put most of your product. And then wiggle it up. So this is going to keep your lashes from looking spidery. And when you're going to do the bottom, here's a good tip. Put your chin down and look straight to the mirror. That way your bottom lashes pop out. So next, I'm going to line my lips using bareMinerals Gen Nude Under Over Lip Liner. And I'm using the shade On Point. So I'm lining my top lip. The reason I do this because My lips on the top are not symmetrical. One side has more volume than the other, so I use a lip liner to make my top lip more symmetrical and give it that powdery look. And I like to shade in the outer corners just to give it that nice powdery, pillowy lips. And I'm feathering in the edges. I love this color because it looks like it's like a natural lip color. So you're just enhancing your lip. You're not like adding a different shade. Looks very natural on. So next I'm going to use Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Color Splash Lipstick in Sunkissed. Guys, I found my favorite nude shade. And these are so good and creamy. They feel so beautifully on the lips. They glide on smooth. It's like the perfect nude. You just tap it on in the center. I don't want to put too much of this. So I'm just, tapping it on, blending it with my fingers. I love this color. You want to press together. You never want to swipe your lips. Just press them. The way you distribute the color evenly. And next, I'm a gloss girl. I love lip gloss. So I'm going to use the new Sephora collection Outrageous Effect Volume Lip Gloss. And I'm using the shade in 03. I love this lip gloss. It also has a minty feel to it, so your lips feel nice and fresh. And I'm just pressing it on because I don't want to move what I did under the lip. Pressing it on, and it gives your skin like a nice, glossy, wet lip. It just makes your lips look so juicy. So next, I'm going to use Bumble & Bumble CITYSWEPT Finish. So I like to spray it on my head, not directly to my hair because it's very waxy. That way I could control the amount I put on. So I'm just putting it on my head, rubbing it together, distributing around my hair. So I love using this hairspray because it gives your hair a slept-in look. So next, to finish up my look, I'm going to use the Nest Black Tulip fragrance. It smells so good. It's fresh. It's very floral, but in a good way. It's not like your grandma's perfume. It's like nice and sexy. Very nice summer scent. And that's it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy watching me do this look. It's one of my favorite looks to do. And I'm in New York City, so if you're ever around, come holla at me in 86 in Lexington. And don't forget to subscribe to Sephora's YouTube channel. We have a bunch of YouTube videos coming soon. And thank you guys for watching. See you.